The smile and still undefeated Gervonta Davis.
What'd you think, man? No, I think it was a great fight. I think it was a great fight.
Best fight in the world. Thanks the best fight. Thanks the best fight in the world. And the team's been saying it.
Let his hands go, impose his will, but he got to put his chin down. He got to be defensive minded. And thanks, great game plan, hit the roof.
Yeah, actually, no, that was a beautiful knockout. I ain't gonna lie, that was a beautiful knockout. That was beautiful.
How do you set it up in your eyes? How do you feel?
But
I think
Gervonta did good. I think he waited a little bit. I think I feel like he gets him tired first until he explodes on him.
You gotta be there with him. If you're not mentally strong, that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna break you down.
Anything else that Ryan could have done differently throughout the fight?
I just feel like he just fought the wrong fight. He was following him around round one.
The fight went exactly as I would say 100% of us expected it to go. I don't think there was very many people that
First, you know what I'm saying? He held his defense up pretty high, so he was able to maintain for a long time. But I think that whenever Tank was ready to close the gap,
Coach Henry tried to fight. Unsuccessful. Yeah, like that. So what happened? You got knocked out.
I think Gervonta did good. I think he waited a little bit. I think I feel like he gets him tired first until he explodes on him all crazy.
what next match would you like to see for him? Maybe a Shakur fight, possibly a Davis?
Tank's always shown that he's very well equipped with skills and he's strong. So I'm assuming that punch really was a factor.
Close, but that's what he was all about. You feel me? Rolly got a little comfortable.
it was an ugly fight. It could have been either way, but Tank got him out of it.
Monster. The modern day Mike Tyson.
What do you think is next for Tank Davis after this? What would you like to see?
I mean, listen, put him in big fights. He's ready for everybody. That's too much.
What did you think about Tank's power tonight? Did you think he was winning the fight up until stoppage?
I mean, it was close. Like I say, man, you got a lot of experience, so he's really just setting it up.
You gotta go back up here.
Taking his time. Taking his time, just setting it up.
You know, he made a mistake and got a little funny. He showed the world that he can outbox the champion, and he outboxed him. But appreciate that. But Tank is a champion for a reason. I told him, he has timing, he has experience. Time and experience are two dangerous.
The highly anticipated fight finally took place, and as expected, Tank Davis secured another dominant victory, this time against Lamont Roach. Just like many before him, Roach talked a big game leading up to the match, convinced he had what it took to knock out Tank. But once they stepped into the ring, reality hit, though not nearly as hard as Tank's punches. Roach entered with confidence, believing he had the perfect strategy to expose Tank's weaknesses. However, like the 30 opponents before him, he quickly learned that there are levels to this sport.
I told him to leave his mom's and, the people home, and he still brung them. It's crazy. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad, man.
The moment Tank figured Roach out, it was game over. A few powerful shots later, and Roach had no answers left. The fight ended just as most had predicted. Tank victorious, untouched, and still undefeated. Yet surprisingly, the post-fight conversation wasn't about his performance. The big names in attendance didn't seem particularly impressed. Among them were Terrence "Bud" Crawford, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and the man who has been orchestrating boxing's biggest fights lately, Turki Al-Sheikh.
No, Terrence Crawford keeps his name. Terrence Crawford keeps his name out your mouth. You know what I mean? He talking crazy. He talking crazy. He talking. You think about that one?
Nah, it was just some, talking on Twitter like back and forth.
As the cameras panned back and forth, it was clear from their reactions that the ringside stars weren't exactly in awe of what they had just witnessed. True to his outspoken nature, Crawford summed it up in just a few words. Just another win to look good for months. He has long been critical of Tank's choice of opponents, believing he's been playing it safe, carefully selecting fights that preserve his undefeated record without truly pushing his limits. In Crawford's eyes, Tank has been avoiding the toughest challenges, prioritizing image over legacy.
147. How does a fight with you and Terrence Crawford look?
147?
147.
Shit, that trend, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know.
He's just arrogant, Crawford said when asked about Tank's latest win. He wants attention and all, but he should be giving fans real fights, not just trying to look good for the crowd. Crawford has never been shy about voicing his opinions, and he firmly believes that only one fighter has what it takes to beat Tank, Shakur Stevenson. He has repeatedly called Shakur Tank's kryptonite, the one opponent with the skill, defense, and ring IQ to neutralize Tank's power and completely outbox him. And tonight, it seemed like Turki Al-Sheikh might agree. Right in the middle of the post-fight discussions, Turki made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Tank has officially agreed to 2 fights this year. These aren't just any fights. These are the fights fans have been waiting for. While Turki Al-Sheikh didn't drop any names, it didn't take long for everyone to start connecting the dots. For months, Turki has been in talks with Tank, pushing him to step up and face the biggest challenges in the division. And the most talked about fight, Tank versus Devin Haney. Turki has been relentless in his efforts to make the biggest fights happen, and this announcement made one thing clear: Tank's next 2 fights won't be tune-ups. They'll be the real deal. The obvious names in the mix: Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. Haney, the current undisputed champion, has been calling for this fight for a long time. He believes he's the best at 135 pounds and has repeatedly claimed he has the skills to beat Tank. In Haney's eyes, the hype around Tank is just that, hype. He's confident he can outbox him, break him down over 12 rounds, and prove once and for all that skill trumps power. Shakur, on the other hand, has been just as vocal. He has long argued that Tank is being protected, with his team carefully picking fights to avoid real threats. But now, with Turki confirming that 2 major fights are locked in, Shakur knows his time is coming. The difference this time? No more excuses, no more tune-ups, no more dodging the biggest threats in the division.
Thoughts on the fight?
Just when it seemed like the night couldn't get any more interesting, Oscar De La Hoya dropped another bombshell. Tank versus Ryan Garcia 2 is happening. No official date yet, but it's confirmed. Ryan Garcia has been demanding a rematch ever since their first fight ended, convinced he wasn't at his best. He blamed the weight cut for draining him and admitted to making mistakes he swears won't happen again. Since then, his name has made headlines for all the wrong reasons: social media meltdowns, legal troubles, and relentless criticism from the boxing world. But for Ryan, this rematch isn't just another fight, it's his shot at redemption. Oscar De La Hoya wasted no time building the hype, claiming that Ryan is stepping back into the ring with renewed energy and will be a real problem, not just for Tank, but even for Devin Haney. De La Hoya has never shied away from praising Ryan's talent, emphasizing that his power and speed make him a legitimate threat to anyone in the division. And with all the chaos surrounding Ryan in recent months, this rematch might be the perfect opportunity for him to silence the critics and prove he's still a serious contender. Interestingly, just a few months ago, rumors swirled that Tank wasn't interested in working with Turki Al-Sheikh. He reportedly wanted to maintain full control over his career, remain independent, and avoid being tied down by long-term contracts.
You know, in all of boxing, in regards to where you're at in your weight class and how you consistently are just knocking guys out, what's that feeling like when you do?
Feel like it's
Now, Tank is all in, and that changes everything. Turki Al-Sheikh isn't just another promoter or businessman in boxing. He's the driving force behind the sport's biggest matchups. He's the one putting up the money, closing the deals, and making sure the best fighters step into the ring against each other. With Tank now working directly with Turki, the biggest fights in the division are no longer just speculation, they're inevitable. Haney, Shakur, Ryan, these fights aren't just possibilities anymore. They're happening.
Yeah, I drank. No, I did not. He was eating the day before. Like, we had a media workout. He was eating at his media workout, bro. I wasn't even eating at my media workout. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, he tricked the people. Like, yeah, I'm training. No, you wasn't. I just made him have to work.
Crawford knew it. That's why he was there, watching everything unfold. He's been pushing for these fights for months, demanding that Tank step up and prove himself against the best. And now, with Turki Al-Sheikh orchestrating the matchups, there's no more room for excuses. Tank made a statement tonight, reminding everyone why he's still the king of the division. He still has the power. He's still the one everyone is chasing. But now, the real test begins. Because no matter how many knockouts he racks up or how many wins he adds to his record, the only thing that truly matters now is whether he can beat the best. With Haney, Shakur, and Ryan all lined up, we're about to find out if Tank is really as untouchable as he claims to be.
Handle the situation.
The thing about Tank fights is that you always know what's coming. You just don't know when. A knockout is inevitable. It's only a matter of time. And in the end, Tank knew it too. Same old, he told the crowd. I've got to give them what they want to see. He never needed to say much. His fists did all the talking. For Roach, the real question was whether he could last long enough to make it interesting. Could he avoid the shot that would shut the lights off? Could he pull off the impossible and shock the world? It was a long shot from the start, but he believed. And the people around him believed too.
It was a professional versus an amateur.
At the weigh-in, Roach came in right at 135 lbs, while Tank, looking a little drained, stepped on the scale at 133.8. That got people talking. Maybe Roach had an edge. Maybe the weight cut took more out of Tank than usual. Roach was feeling himself. I told him this. Term is real, he said after their face-off. I'm one of the best fighters in the world, and I can't wait for you all to see it. Promoter Tom Brown leaned into that narrative. Champion versus champion. Baltimore versus DC. Who was the bigger man today? He was selling the fight, making it seem closer than it really was. Roach's team was just as confident. His co-promoter Gary Jonas kept repeating the same point. Roach wasn't scared. He had known Tank since they were kids. He had fought him twice in the amateurs. The advantage Lamont has is they go way back, Joa said. Psychologically, that's an edge over the guys who get intimidated by Tank. But here's the thing. Knowing Tank doesn't mean you can stop him. Even with all the talk, all the confidence, Roach was the underdog for a reason. He was stepping up in weight to face a man who had knocked out 28 of his 30 opponents. This wasn't just about skill. It was about power. And Tank had it in abundance. Roach was good, solid, technically sound. But to win this fight, he had to be perfect. Flawless for all 12
For
rounds.
everybody be talking shit to Gervonta, it don't be coming out good for them, my nigga. Give me a...
He obviously a superstar. Just because of who he is, this don't change no program that I got going on. I'm here to win. I've been coming to win. And I think the same result will happen on December 14th.
At the weigh-in, Roach came in right
It was the bet. Tank and Roach made some kind of wager after the weigh-in, though the exact amount was up for debate. Some lip readers guessed 20K. Others thought it was as high as 250K. Maybe Roach truly believed he had a shot, or maybe he just wanted to prove a point. Either way, it didn't age well. Roach carried that same confidence into every interview leading up to the fight. Sitting back on a Zoom call with Dane, he was calm, collected, and unwavering in his belief. I have no doubt in myself, my skills, my strength, my will, he said. We're going to put it all together. He promised a career-defining performance, hinting that the fight might not play out the way people expected. Honestly, it's going to be a real spectacle. To the critics who doubted him, Roach couldn't have cared less. "They'll just have to wait and see," he said. For real, I couldn't care less about the doubts they have." He spoke like a man on a mission, like a fighter who truly believed he was about to shock the world. But belief doesn't win fights. And when the bell rang, reality hit hard. The fight played out exactly as expected. Roach gave it his all. He had his moments, but they weren't enough. Tank did what he always does, took his time, found his range, and when the moment was right, he closed the show. After the fight, Roach wasn't the
Consider
same.
you and Gervonta friends? Gervonta friends?
Friends? Probably.
Is it gonna be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
No.
Are you all gonna be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
Both making money.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully I can make it.
Man, I mean, it's gonna go. Tank gonna be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's gonna download the data. Then he gonna knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he gonna do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's gonna get in the ring, or Caleb Plants.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. His ball was up. His ball was up there shaking. What's his name? He was shaking on the.
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Gervonta Diaz, Gary Jonas.
All my kids, he was shaking on it. All my kids, he was shaking.
How you gonna say it's cap? It gotta be. You gonna say it's cap? I'm watching. It gotta be.
The fire he had before the fight had dimmed. He was already hinting at stepping away, maybe for good. The confidence he carried into the ring was gone. This was always going to be the biggest fight of his career, his one shot at greatness, and, like so many before him, he came up short. Now, the conversation isn't about Roach, it's about what's next for Tank, and all roads lead to Shakur. What do you think? Will we finally get the fights we've been waiting for? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more updates.